All right, we interrupt our regularly scheduled programming to bring you the news. The Jets have switched quarterbacks. Hey, everybody, Jonas Schwartz here in SNY's Midtown Studios. The Jets reportedly, we now can confirm, by the way, Adam Schefter, the original report, Janae Coakley has confirmed it. They are making the switch to go with Geno Smith at quarterback. Head coach Todd Bowles will talk about it at his press conference today at 3:45. Bowles, of course, in about-face of sorts directly after the loss in Arizona, said he was sticking with Fitzpatrick, walked it back to some degree yesterday, and now reportedly, and again, we have confirmed that report, making the switch to Geno Smith. Let's bring in our SNY football insider, Ralph Vacchiano, who joins us on the phone as he is headed to the Jets facility as we speak. And Ralph, right off the bat, are you surprised that after, strongly sort of supporting Fitz up till now, all the way through Monday night, that Todd Bowles is making the switch?
No, I think he was kind of telegraphing that in his press conference or his teleconference on Monday or Tuesday. He basically, if he was going to stick with Fitzpatrick, by that point he had reviewed film, he would have been much stronger than saying, well, I just said it was going to be status quo after the game. I want to talk to my coaches. I'm leaving everything open. So he was kind of letting everybody know he was thinking about it. And let's face facts. Fitzpatrick has been terrible. And, Todd Bowles after the game blamed the offensive line, and certainly there are other factors involved, but anybody who's watched Fitzpatrick has seen that his throws are just off even when he has time. His decisions have been bad, and they're 1-5. So at this point, if you have any hope of salvaging the season at all, you have to get somebody playing better in that spot.
All points, well taken. But still, when you look at what's gone on here, how stunning is this reversal where the whole narrative of the offseason was, how did the Jets get Ryan Fitzpatrick back? Brandon Marshall wants him back. He's alarmed that he can't get a hold of Fitzpatrick on the phone. People are seeing where the house that Fitzpatrick had rented was available. All of that 6 games into a season, and he's no longer the starter.
The big picture is absolutely stunning, and it's really the worst fears that I think the Jets had and everybody had heading into the regular season. Look, they knew they were not fully committed to Ryan Fitzpatrick. You saw that by the fact that they played games with a contract offer that they wouldn't commit to him with any kind of money beyond 1 year. They also were clearly not sold on Geno Smith. Otherwise, they would have had no problem moving on to him when it was clear they couldn't get a contract done that they liked with Ryan Fitzpatrick. But last year was so good. I think the Jets felt like, they had to take another shot with him, see if he could keep that magic going for one more season. They had something good going. Maybe it could work for one more year. But the underlying fear was always going to be that Ryan Fitzpatrick has always been a journeyman quarterback. He way overperformed last year, and if he regressed at all, and he regressed worse than anybody thought, but if he regressed at all, the Jets were going to be in some trouble. Considering all things, it's just the worst thing they could have expected, and they had to know that there was a chance it was coming.
Geno Smith obviously was the starter here and struggled quite a bit. Lost his job because he got punched in the jaw by Ike Anapali last year during training camp. This is a chance for some sort of redemption for him. You've been around him a little bit. Do you get the sense that he will take this second chance very seriously and try to make the most of it?
Oh, I do. I think there's no doubt that he has been humbled a little bit, at least, by the events that led to him losing his job, by the fact that he's basically been pushed aside. And, again, I think he knows that, when the Jets were not turning to him when they were having trouble signing Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think he realized then that, they don't necessarily trust him and they don't consider him their quarterback of the future. Now he's been given a golden opportunity to prove to them that he should be. And it's a chance that, he might not have ever gotten. His contract ends at the end of the year, and he could have just very easily slidden off into some other team, been a backup somewhere as the Jets turned to Bryce Petty or kept Ryan Fitzpatrick. But now he's got a chance to show them, hey, I have some value here. So he's playing for a job, a contract, his career. I wouldn't think he would take this very seriously.
All right, well, let's also talk about the notion here of how long does Geno Smith have to work with? How much rope does he have? Because obviously he's not under contract next year. Bryce Petty's a guy the Jets want to look at. You can even make the case down the road this year. They might want to look at Christian Hackenberg in some way, although he has been described as having this being a redshirt year for him. How long does Geno Smith have, and could they go back to Fitzpatrick here in the end if Geno Smith struggles?
Well, certainly they could. I think that's a terrible move if they would go back to Fitzpatrick. every quarterback, every veteran quarterback I've ever talked to about this has said that once you make a switch from a veteran to a younger guy, you can't go back because you lose them both. The veteran knows he's just a stopgap. The younger guy, if he's being yo-yoed back and forth, he realizes you got no faith in him. That would make this a mess. So they've got to stick with Geno Smith. As for the question of how long, it really depends on how much you believe the Jets still have life. Because we all look at it as 1-5, they're done, the season's over. But they're looking at it as 4 games coming up against Cleveland, against Miami, against the Rams, against the Ravens. 4 relatively winnable games. They could be 5-5 at the end of this, and they'll think they still have a chance for the playoffs. And they want their locker room to believe that. So I would think as long as they believe they're alive, as long as this doesn't get to the 7th loss or something like that, and Geno's playing well, they'll keep going with him. But as soon as they realize there's just no chance for this season, they have to look towards 2017, and they have to at least give Petty, if not Hackenberg, a look.
So you don't view this move as waving the white flag? You view this move of going to Geno Smith as trying to salvage what's going on this year?
I think this is their last desperate stand. I think there are 2017 implications because they're going to get a look at Geno to see, hey, is there any way that this guy can be the quarterback of the future? But I think I don't believe that they think he is. I think if they were totally looking for the future, they might start playing the younger guys just to get them some experience. I think they believe it's too early to completely give up, so let's see if we can salvage anything at all the rest of the way, and that's why Geno Smith takes over, because Ryan Fitzpatrick, over an extended period of time, has proven this year he just can't do it.
All right, our SNY football insider Ralph Vacchiano joining us on the phone. Ralph, thanks so much. We'll speak to you soon.
All right, Jonah, take care.
All right, so once again, the big news, Adam Schefter, the first to report that the Jets will make the quarterback switch and go with Geno Smith this week at quarterback against the Ravens. Our Janae Coakley confirming that news as well. When you look at Ryan Fitzpatrick's season, not hard to see why this move was made. 5 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4 red zone interceptions. The completion percentage nowhere near where you would like it to be. Obviously, huge struggles in the Kansas City game, the Seattle game, against the Cardinals. So Fitzpatrick, after all this talk this offseason of how much the Jets needed him back, did not come out and play as he did last year, and the Jets are making the quarterback switch.